I never thought much about the old house before I inherited it. It had belonged to my great-uncle, a man I had never met, a man spoken about only in hushed tones during family gatherings. He had died in that house alone, just as he had lived. My parents had warned me away from it, but inheritance was inheritance, and when the letter arrived confirming my ownership, I packed up and drove to the countryside without hesitation. The house was smaller than I expected, 2 stories, worn, wooden siding, crooked shutters. It stood at the edge of the forest, half swallowed by gnarled branches that pressed against its structure like fingers searching for an entrance. I had assumed, given its age, that it would smell of dust and mildew, but instead there was something sharper. Earth. The scent of dirt, thick and cloying, hung in the air like an unspoken secret. I stepped inside, my footsteps muffled by the old wooden floorboards. The entryway was narrow, leading to a dimly lit sitting room lined with faded bookshelves. Every inch of the house carried the weight of abandonment, as if the walls themselves had been holding their breath for decades, waiting for something. Waiting for me. I explored cautiously. The upstairs was unremarkable, empty bedrooms with creaking doors, a draft that whispered through the cracked window panes. But downstairs, in the center of the living room, I found it. The trapdoor. It was flush with the floorboards, nearly invisible, but I had felt it underfoot, that slight give, the hollow beneath. I knelt, running my hands over the edges, finding the iron ring embedded in the wood. When I pulled, it resisted at first, like something on the other side didn't want it opened, but with effort it lifted, revealing a narrow descent into darkness. The smell of earth rushed up to meet me. I hesitated. There was no reason to go down there. But something, the weight of the house, the hush of the trees outside, pushed me forward. The ladder groaned beneath my weight as I climbed down, boots sinking into the damp soil below. The basement was unfinished, just packed dirt walls and a low ceiling reinforced with beams of aging wood. I shone my flashlight around, expecting old furniture, forgotten antiques, anything normal. What I found instead was a circle carved in two. The dirt floor, deep grooves formed intricate, interwoven shapes, symbols. They twisted upon themselves, looping into unreadable language, sprawling outward in careful precision. And at the center of the circle, bones. Not human. Not quite. I stepped back, my breath catching in my throat. The flashlight flickered, casting erratic shadows across the walls. For a moment, I swore I saw movement. Just a ripple in the dark, like the very soil was shifting beneath its own weight. Then I heard it, a low hum, resonating beneath my feet. I froze. It wasn't the wind, not the creak of the old house settling. It was coming from below. A vibration, like something deep beneath the floorboards was breathing. I scrambled up the ladder, pulling myself out of the pit and slamming the trapdoor shut behind me. My heartbeat thundered in my ears, my breath coming in shallow gasps. I pressed my palms flat against the wood, feeling the pulse beneath it, rhythmic, steady, waiting. That night, I barely slept. The hum never stopped. It pulsed under the floorboards in quiet, deliberate beats like the slow heartbeat of something enormous. I tried to convince myself it was the house, just the house settling into its age, but deep down, I knew better. Something was down there. The next day, I returned to the basement. I had to know. I brought tools, a shovel, a crowbar, anything that might help me dig deeper. As I pried open the trapdoor, the scent of earth overwhelmed me, richer than before, thick with decay. The hum rose to greet me, vibrating through my fingertips as I gripped the ladder. I descended. I knelt at the edge of the symbol, shovel in hand, and began to dig. The soil was loose, too loose, as though something had been buried there recently. Inch by inch, I unearthed fragments of bone, some sharp, like spines, others smooth and elongated, alien in their construction. But as I dug deeper, something changed. The hum grew louder. The dirt trembled beneath my hands, shifting of its own, a chord, pushing upward. And then I felt it. My shovel hit something soft, something warm, something alive. I recoiled, my breath catching, as the ground beneath me moved, rising in slow, deliberate waves. The symbols carved into the earth glowed, faint and pulsating like veins filled with ember light. Then came the whisper. Not words, not really. A thought pressed into my skull like fingers curling around my brain. You are here. I staggered back, dropping the shovel. My vision blurred, shapes twisting in my periphery. The walls of the basement breathed, expanding and contracting. With the rhythm beneath me, the hum became a roar. The floor split open, and I saw it. A mouth, a vast, yawning abyss with teeth like towering stalagmites, stretching into darkness beyond comprehension. It wasn't a basement. It was a throat, awaiting more, deep and endless, stretching beyond the house, beyond the land itself. And as I teetered at the edge, staring into the abyss, I understood. The house was never abandoned. My great-uncle hadn't lived here alone. It lived here too, waiting, hungry. The God beneath the floorboards had been fed before, and now it had been awakened.